Okay, guys, here we go. This is the beginning of the Winners League portion of the NA Pro League. And down here in the bottom left, we have Boa. In the bottom right, we have Gypsy. So this is a rematch. These two did play each other in the individual league that we just had. Boa was able to take it. It was probably the game of the night. Very close, very back and forth. But yeah, Gypsy without a win so far. In fact, I do have the stats right here on a piece of paper. Not hard to remember. Terran has won 0 games tonight. Protoss and Zerg both dominating. Okay, so can Gypsy come back and get a victory for Team Terran? We will see about that. The map is retro, so it's exactly the same map as well. And in fact, Boa is going to go ahead and scout Gypsy first. That's going to be a little bit annoying because that's a very, very fast scout, right? So he's going to be able to steal the gas from this. So not something you really want to deal with. But let's see. Like, Gypsy could cancel an SCV and grab it or something, but I don't think he will. It's like... It feels terrible to cancel an SCV to grab your gas, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh. He gets it just before Gypsy gets the money. Very, very frustrating. But what can you do? All right, so offensive gas. Here's the problem with offensive gas on 4-player maps. On 2-player maps, you can time out exactly when you want to scout them, right? So, like, let's say you get offensive gas. This is a 2-player map. You can say, okay, I want to scout right before they get their Nexus, or I want to scout right before the first Cell gets here, or I want to scout in time to get out there before Dragoon. Whatever it might be. Whatever it might be. On a 4-player map, if you go in the wrong direction, which Gypsy is doing, bam. You don't know what they're doing. There could be a Nexus. There could be a gate. There could be a proxy gate. He could be rushing to Dragoon. You don't know, right? And all those things require a different reaction from your build order as Terran. So Gypsy right now in a kind of tough spot. In fact, he went cross-spawn. So what he was thinking is that this might be a Nexus first cross-spawn scout. I think that's what he was thinking, because that's what you most commonly see a cross-spawn scout with. But if he goes from here to here, he is going to be in real trouble. Real trouble, guys. Oh, shit. Gypsy going in completely the wrong direction. So he's going to scout Boa so late. Boa could probably have 2 carriers by the time he gets there. So that's going to be a bit frustrating. He is getting the bunker up pretty quickly. A Zealot is coming. And then Zealot will run by the bunker. Maybe he'll harass the SCV slightly, something like that. It's annoying, but Gypsy has good micro. He can deal with this. He can deal with this. Takes a hit there. Gets his gas. And you're going to want to pull 2 SCVs, honestly. Like, he might pull 1. He might get greedy and pull 1. But the second Zealot comes and you took too many hits, you're going to be fucked. So, okay, gets on top of that. Gets rid of the probe. Okay, this is good. Three SCVs is going to do a really good job here. And he brings up the 4th Marine as well. So, good micro. Oh! Oh, he missed a shot. Boa missed a shot. Oh, my God. Crazy. And now he gets 4 in the bunker, so you don't run by that. Okay, so let's see, right? Because Gypsy still hasn't scouted him. But Gypsy has his gas. He has his command center going. He actually killed the first Zealot and probe. He's got 4 Marines in the bunker, an extra Marine too. The extra Marine actually makes you feel really comfortable, although I think he did not mean to have this finish. And then Boa has his Nexus almost done. This is not that bad for Gypsy, considering how tough of an opening it was. Like, a lot of things went right for Boa and a lot of things went wrong for Gypsy. So the fact that still his command center, you know, is like halfway done when this finishes. Yeah, you can't... I don't think you can hope for very much more than that. Now, he just popped these out. You might have heard, and you see the blood on the ground. He just killed his lowest health Marine. And that was specifically to free up supply here. It's hard, because if you get your gas, and you're building Marines to hold off Zealots, and you want to make the command center, it's incredibly hard to get your factory and a depot at the same time. You just can't afford it. Just the way that the math works out on this. So that's why he's killed off a single Marine to get an extra SCV, because, like, 1 red Marine doesn't make a difference. 1 SCV does. Second factory coming up. Boa's on 2 gate going into Robo. And I think he'll go Reaver quicker here. We were talking about it in the previous game that these guys played, where I was saying, you know, he'll probably go 2 gate Observer, 3rd base, Reaver. That's after a standard opener. This opener was a little bit wonky. So I feel like if I'm Boa, I'd want to get the Reaver because then you don't die to anything. You're basically invincible, right? Your economy's not as good as the Observer into third base into Reaver, but yeah, you're feeling very good. And you don't need Observer super fast right now anyways, right? It's a different opener. So let's see. Okay, it is Reaver. If it's Observer that you want, you'd make the Observatory the second that it finished. And there it is. Robotics Support Bay. So, the thing is you start a shuttle, right? And the Support Bay, guess how long that takes to build? 19 seconds. 19 seconds. Same amount of time as a missile turret. Get out of here with that. Ridiculous. So you start the shuttle, and then whenever you want, you start this because it basically warps in instantly. Operation Seawall building. All right, so is Gypsy going to do a 2-fact pressure? He has his armory spinning, 2 factories. 1 is spinning. If this is Siege, I'm a little bit disappointed. But he might just be playing really carefully. The thing is, I feel like what Bo is doing here is the best thing you can do in this position. So maybe you could intuit that he's likely to be doing this. Okay, it's speed. He's banked 2 vultures here, and then another one's spinning, and these are hiding. So this is speed, this is mines. They'll finish right around the same time. Speed takes a long time to finish, but yeah, he's gonna try to see if he can do something with his vultures. Since it's a Reaver opening, probably you won't be able to. But sometimes you can. Sometimes. Here comes the 4 vultures. Going into the middle of the map. When mines finish, which is going to be really soon here, he'll start laying a few mines around. Doesn't want to run by there. Okay, he saw the shuttle. Okay, he knows exactly what's up. He knows that there's a Reaver in there. He knows that the 3rd Nexus is going to start anytime. And he starts some missile turrets. I tell you, this is an excellent opener by Gypsy. He's basically exactly where he needs to be considering what's happened to him. Very well done. He's really a good Terran player. So damn impressive. Brings a tear to my eye. All right, so the shuttle going to fly away. He's got some pretty good defense so far. Starport coming up for additional upgrades. I think Gypsy is in a much better... I like his build this game a lot more than I liked it in the previous game that these two played. Right, in the 1 versus 1 section. Yeah, it's like he has the second factory a bit quicker. He's going to be able to explode out his macro a lot better. He's got like very healthy SCV counts. He actually hasn't started his academy yet, which is completely fine as well. Like you know what's going on anyways. You don't really need to scan. The thing he would want to know at this point is there a mass gateway ad? Because Boa likes that build. A lot of the Protosses that are good at macro, which is, well, I know that's... I know when I say that, you're like, aren't all Protosses good at macro? And the answer is yes. But a lot of Protosses like to go Reaver into mass gateway and then try to bust. And that's like some pretty common stuff, right? Like, Boa actually did that in the previous game as well. And that's what I would want to know as Gypsy here. Is like, is he going to do something like that? Now, the Academy gets started... It's a kind of late academy, but it's nothing insane. Nothing crazy about how late it is. It's not like, oh, damn, he really needed to have it before or something like that, right? Now, Citadel goes down at the natural. He doesn't want that scanned. Like I mentioned this as well, is that sometimes we're seeing more tech buildings at the natural because it's such a small area. Terran does not scan the natural against Protoss very much. Now, the Forge is spinning. Okay, 3rd Nexus is up with very good probe saturation. Reavers are out here. Like, yeah, they kill some mines, whatever. No one really cares about that much. It's fine if you want to spend 15 minerals to get rid of the free mine. Terran doesn't care about that at all. Double Armory is here. Yeah, gets one spinning. Should get that other one spinning in a moment. This is very bad placement because SCVs cannot fit through there. So if he needs to run, if the Reaver were to drop in here somehow, or High Templars, and he tries to run SCVs to the main base, they will go over here and then make a line and super clump here and then go back. And they might even go back and forth, or they might go around. Not entirely sure, but there's a decent chance, I would say a 25% chance, this fucks him up completely this game at some point. I'm not kidding. I'll try to catch it if it happens. All right, second robo for Boa, and just 6 gates. So, yeah, it looks like he wants to go heavy speed shuttles here. Very popular. I think it's one of the higher skill cap things that Protoss does is the mass speed shuttle with, like, storm drops and stuff. Not that storm drops take a lot of skill themselves, but there's a lot more multitasking involved with that type of build. Now, Boa gets one Scarab hit, does some decent damage. Gypsy going to push him back. Another gateway coming up. And yeah, Boa's just massing up. So right now, what do we need to see from Gypsy? Well, okay, he's got his third command center almost done. He's adding this factory. This was probably told to make a factory and then it didn't build. Probably this guy jumped in his way as quickly as he could to stop that from ever happening. But Boa's getting ready for some sort of attack here. Gypsy just needs to kind of turtle up. And actually, he's making a bunker and a depot as if Boa is going to come from this angle. But Boa has decided to run down the smallest ramp outside of 76. And he's going to try to single file his army into Gypsy here. We have the Scarabs going off. Not getting the greatest hits. Okay, there you go. There's some good Scarab hits. But honestly, coming down this little ramp kind of made it hard for him to get the engage that I think he was looking for. This is such a turtled spot for Gypsy. I'm actually kind of surprised how turtly he's playing. I think he just wants to get to high supply and try to outplay Boa there. Which makes sense, because Boa loves these types of busts. Now, Boa takes his 4th base, like, right before that bust started. That's a good thing to do. But he lost a lot of units there, so it's not like he has a lot of aggressive options. It's mostly going to be speed shuttle-based options at this point. All right, Gypsy's starting to move out here. Kind of, again, a very funny placement for this. But Siege is up. Now, this is a really strong position. Turrets only go to about there, so it's a little bit annoying. Oh, wow, he gets a shuttle. Nice. I'm not sure what was in there. But if you can hold here, then you get this base, and you're not that far from the center. So if you can kind of secure this, third, push to the center, and, like, secure, like, this area. If you're a Terran player and you have this base, your first 2 bases, and this base, well, in these spawns, this base is very tough. This might be a better 4th, honestly. But if you can get here and actually secure that much, Protoss, like, you can tear them apart at that point. Because they're going to have to decide, right? Just this being in the middle is huge. And all this is buildable, all these plates, by the way, right? So you can build some missile turrets. You can put a depot in there, stuff like that, command center. But once you cut the map like that, Protoss has to decide, are they going to engage from here, here, or here? And you can easily figure out where that is, and then you just kind of cut off, right? So, like, if their army is up here, you're like, okay, I leave a lot of units here, and then I kind of slowly fill in this area, and now you're split, right? Maybe your gateways are down here, and your army is up here, and it's like, well, how are you going to do that as Protoss, right? So that's kind of the positional play that I think you're looking for against Boa this game, or against Protoss in general on the map. Well, I guess while I was discussing the higher levels of strategy and tactics, a Nexus died. Oops. Sorry. I'm more interested in the broad strokes of strategy in StarCraft. I know you guys are action junkies, and that's why you're on TikTok all fucking day. But what I want to talk about are the big ideas, okay? Small minds talk about attacks. Big minds talk about map presence. Okay, so anyways, Boa comes out, and we'll go ahead and clear these mines. Gypsy not with, like, a forward position as of yet. Only a single missile turret here. Good amount of defense up here. Starting to add some missile turrets there as well. Boa retaking a base. Boa getting ready. This this is not well set up. He doesn't have many mines here. That's going to make it hard. These Zealots running in. Gypsy has a lot of supply, though. He needs to get it all together here. The shuttles come in, drop off some High Templars. Oh, those are big storms. Holy crap. And Boa just kind of rolling through right now. Oof. Okay, so he's not going to be able to break up here. This might actually be a big mistake. If he tries to get up here, yeah, see, Gypsy brings his SCVs to block. There's 3 siege tanks with +2 attack here. So his Dragoons are basically all going to be killed. You just unsiege and you attack into the back of this. He does run some goons up, so like he's trying real hard to kill these tanks off, but you can see that was inefficient for sure. Gypsy continuing to try to macro here. It feels like Boa's getting an edge here, but if you look at the supply, Gypsy's ahead, right? Like these moves, he's killed a lot of siege tanks, but Gypsy has 3 add-ons. This is like kind of a big deal. If he was making 2 siege tanks at a time, this would be a lot worse for him. But as is, Boa right now coming down, and well, he's gonna get a lot of siege tanks again. Look at that. 1 tank, 2 tank. I believe this tank will go down because SCV's drilled in front. Oh, no, it gets pulled back. Okay, nice save, nice save. And another Nexus going down to 2 Vultures. This is crazy, man. How many Nexuses are those 2 Vultures going to kill? Those are some badasses. Oh, wow, the offensive mine almost gets that. The Dragoon's going to micro heavily against the Science Vessel to make sure they get that kill. A wild game. A wild game, but Boa does have a 4th. Okay, so that's something. Still mining. Okay, basically empty. Where's Gypsy at? Empty. Ooh, he's getting low here. You know, he's had heavy saturation for a while. He is going to have to think about another base. Needs to transfer more SCVs there. Okay, there they come. But yeah, definitely needs to think about getting another base. This is the hard thing about Retro. You actually run out of money real quick. I've talked about this a lot in the past, and I talk about it a lot when I'm casting ASL with Tasteless. About how Retro, it feels like in TVP, you get 1 maxed army and that's it. And from then, you're fighting at like 150 or lower. And that it really does feel like that's the case on this map. And I think you're seeing it reflected here pretty well. They both were up in 190s. And now it's like, yeah, 102 against 125. Because it's just, there's not that much here. All right, so blocks that. We have a Vulture raid hitting up here. A bunch of Vultures sent. You do take out the cannons. They are going to kill some probes here as well. Definitely some hard times right now for Boa. He's sending some more probes out across the map. Doesn't have a lot of vision or presence out in the middle. Gypsy has actually done a very good job of maintaining some mines there. Has some other Vultures sitting around in various locations. Looks like Gypsy is going to try to take another command center down at 6 o'clock. Now, is this something Boa can break still? He just doesn't have a large standing army anymore. Ooh, suicide drop there. Looks like he actually does kill a fair amount of SCVs. Now, looking at the game, it does look like Gypsy's starting to take real control. Having killed a Nexus here twice has slowed Boa so much. Like, he really should be on 5 base against 3. That's normal. But the fact that Gypsy's kept it on 4 versus 3 is extremely strong. And the fact that he's going to be on 4 base before the 5th base is actually operational, like, definitely Gypsy is winning, right? But that being said, like, Boa came back from an insane deficit the last time they played here. So maybe Boa still has it in him to be able to pull something off. Laying some mines out. This is a much better defensive position. Remember, before he was up here in a turret back here. Here, he's back a little bit further. Some good mines. Don't forget this doodad helps in defense for Terran. You also have the Goliath sitting here kind of zoning out shuttles from coming in. Doesn't have great defense here. I would honestly like to see depot wall put up. Yeah, there you go. Depot walls are really good at these types of bases that are kind of on your fringe. Make them deal 500 damage to get through, you know? It'll buy you a little bit of time to get reinforcements there. Too bad we can't build walls. I want to build a stone wall like it's Age of Empires. It's like 5,000 health or something. You just can't break through it. That's what pylons are against vultures. So the villager just spams down stone walls at the beginning of the game to stop your harassment. Alright, so 5th Nexus is up. Can Gypsy ever rotate to there? I don't think so. He has 3 vultures here. If Boa sees that, that's very nice because he can pick that off. That's a lot of high templars, a lot of energy. It's a big chunk of Boa's army that's not with everything else. Oof. Doesn't quite get it. 3 health. Ouch. There are a few mines up here. I wonder if those will come into play. By the way, this did not come into play. I just want to point that out. All right, Boa clearing the center. This is an important moment in the game, actually. The fact that Boa has enough supply that he's like, okay, let's clear the center. Let's own this map. This is like a big, big moment because what this does is all the little vulture rotations that have been happening, they become a lot harder from this moment. And Gypsy has to think about an actual push rather than running around with very fast units. It's more like, okay, how do we bring the army into a stronger position towards the center? All right, 4 speed shuttles bombing in. This is something we were asking about before, if something like this could end up occurring. And, well, that's some pretty good size storms over there. I like the Archon in here, to be honest. The Archon did some sick work. Ate up a lot of tank damage and killed a tank off there, basically by itself. Now, D-Matrixed Vulture going to put an end to that, but he has to run his SCVs out, and suddenly Gypsy's supply, he was up even, and now he's down 50. Big, big difference. Huge size storms as well. Oh, man. Well, you know what? Boa has committed a lot of units up here. I think it's because he has so much size storm. Okay, he's moving forward now. The Archons you actually want to kind of lead and tank some damage here. Throws storms down on these very, very clumped tanks. Almost gets the Archons down the ramp. Some Zealots coming up now as well. Those Zealots incredibly important. And suddenly Gypsy falling down into the nether regions of supply. He's up against 3 mining bases for Boa and losing a big chunk of his army. You know, I said before, like, you never really max out a second time on this map as Terran. And you're seeing that this is becoming a very difficult thing for Gypsy right now. He should be able to absorb this still, okay? But I think from here, yeah, I was just going to say, you just make another Nexus because Gypsy has to basically, yeah, he's going to GG. Okay, that's fair. That was a tough position, and ouch. And so now in the Winners League, of course, my teammate Boa gets to stay, and he'll be going up against StRyKeR, the captain of the other team. So these guys have already played here tonight. They had a good game on Neo Dark Origin that StRyKeR was able to take, even though it felt like Boa might have been in the advantage for a little bit. But now we're on Apocalypse. This is our map for now. I'd like to take this moment to say you guys should follow my channel. Hit that follow button. It's very appreciated. Thanks for the subs and all. Thank you again, Todd, for the raid and everyone else involved with just watching. I love it. I love that we have this awesome NA tournament and we have this many people watching. It feels really good, you know, 25 years after the release of this game, to have such healthy viewership for something like this. Crazy stuff. And yeah, we'll be playing some donos in between the games when we have time. And I will eventually play all of them, so thank you to everyone who has sent them in. But yeah, we're focusing right now on giving some eyeballs to some of the best North American players. All right, so Boa, of course, over here, StRyKeR over here. We've already talked about that a little bit. StRyKeR going hatch first, and it's going to be a Nexus first, it looks like, from Boa. And he's playing Nexus first blind. He hasn't scouted. Of course, he'll send a probe up now. He'll skip probes for a little bit so that he can get a forge right away. You know, if this was a very fast pool, he'll just die. but, you know, that's not that common. StRyKeR is more of a macro player and everything, so no big surprises here. It's a good greedy build for him to mix in, taking a bit of a risk. If Boa wins this, he will basically carry us to a victory, I think. Yeah. I think Boa is certainly stronger than Dragon and Cava, but, you know, things can happen. It's best of one. You don't want to count anyone out. But, you know, we still have three deep in our roster to put up against him as well. All right. Now, third hatchery looks like it's going to be going down. Boa's just kind of scouting around with his probe. And the gateway as well as photon cannon go down. So this is such a greedy build. The fact that he was able to go forge, gateway, cannon. And he actually went gas before the cannon as well. Amazing. Great stuff. Boa's going to have like a little bit of an edge here without any doubt. And I think what we'll see from StRyKeR is he's going to drone insanely hard, very few lings. That's my guess, because I don't think anything else is going to work for him. He's just got to take this, you know, take the beat, which is the build order that Boa chose here, and just try to catch up as much as he can, just optimizing his mining and, you know, getting as many drones, as big an economy as is possible. Hydralisk Den. Oh, I guess I was completely wrong. LOL. Okay, so StRyKeR is going to go 3-hatch Hydra, it looks like. You know, everyone needs to be able to mix this in. It's one of the easier all-ins and stronger all-ins in the entire game. But if Boa goes to the natural, he'll see it. So there's got to be a mind game that's planned here as well. So see, he goes past. He sees the Hydra Den. Watch, he'll start a layer. You watch this in just a moment. Wait, I heard something cancel. I don't know what I heard cancel, but something. Or maybe it was just the probe dying from a distance, maybe? I don't know. Anyways, no, it doesn't look like there's any mind game. He will want to drone a little bit more. Looks like he needs, like, one more drone. 1, 2. Yeah, so we got the 7. We actually have 10 because there's that extra patch, and then 2. And he'll probably want to pop one more here. But yeah, that's going to be enough for him to really go ahead and start that Hydralisk production if he actually wants to bust through. Boa is like, look at him sit here and just be like, nah, I don't need cannons yet. We'll get him at the last second. Hydra's starting to pop. Oh, he did stay on just 2 drones. Well, it's overall the right amount of drones on the right amount of patches, right? We call it 973, and here it's 1072, which is the same thing. It's just... this particular map, Apocalypse, has that extra mineral patch. It's not a full one in the main base, right? So 3, 6, 9, 10. Normally you have 9 in a main base. So it's just kind of an interesting little twist. Things like that help whatever race needs minerals in a matchup. So for instance, Protoss in Protoss vs. Terran, Zerg in Zerg vs. Protoss. So anyways, the Hydra's coming in. They do have the speed upgrade. Little bit of a scuffle there. Is he gonna make more cannons? Am I crazy here? He only has 2 cannons. What are... Like, are you gonna make more cannons, Boa? Or are you actually calling this so hard that this is only going to be a handful of Hydras? Dude, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm watching Mini right now, where it's just like a shake my head moment. I'm like, what? Like, either this is the greatest gamble ever, or it's so stupid. Like, maybe his legs are about to finish, and he feels like that's going to be enough. But this is only 2 cannon against 3-hatch Hydra. Look, we're up to 11 Hydras out here. Comes up with more. Are you going to start some more cannons? Okay, 1 more cannon? More Hydras are coming. Is he better than Bisu? Like, what am I looking at? What am I not understanding about the cannon ads? Or the lack thereof? Dude, it's 3 cannons. Look how many Hydras he has. But I mean, there are a lot of Zealots. Okay, let's see. He runs up, tries to surround a little bit. Dude, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Like, it's not going to work, right? I think there's the critical mass of Hydras that you absorb these. Boa, I mean, he's killed a decent amount of Hydras, but he's only got 3 cannons behind. Like, I suppose he can have 4 Zealots pop out, but 4 isn't going to do it. If 10 didn't do it, are 4 going to do it? Well, he gets up here, he targets down 1 cannon. Oh my god, it lived. Dude, if he holds this, he is the GOAT. All right, pulls back. Just checking over here. Okay, he has added the 4th hatch. That actually became popular in Korea like a year and a half ago, to add a 4th hatch for this push. Makes it a little bit less all in. More cannons finally on the way. High Templars are actually coming out as well. Makes an Archon. Okay, so that shows how dire this situation is. If you're making Archons in the face of the Hydras, he actually wants that targeted so that the cannons have more time to finish. Probes kind of stacking up on each other. Okay, sacks another Zealot in there. I think that was a mistake. Enough cannons finished that he may feel like he can hold this at this point. A couple more cannons being warped in. Probes come up to fight. Like, he's absorbing damage right now to keep his cannons alive. I think he's held it. I think you transition now. Yeah, layer. Yeah, he's transitioning. These will be drones popping now. Watch. Yeah, there's another one that popped. Watch, guys. Yep, there's another one. So yeah, StRyKeR is looking at this and saying, okay, the rush is over. That was one of the weirder holds that I've ever seen. Like, that was the skimpiest cannons ever. I can't believe that he held that, honestly. It's wild. Okay, where are we at? We have to try to take stock of this. This is one of the stranger game states that I've seen in PvZ, because it's just such a... Like, he lost some probes. He lost a ton of Zealots, but he held it without overmaking cannons. His gateways seem to be pretty fast. He's getting Dragoon range already. There's the new Forge. He has the Robo. High Templars are out. He has 4 of them out, in fact. He even lost 2 before. What a wild game. Dark Archon. Love to see it. Love to see it. Greatest thing you can put on a thumbnail for a StarCraft 1 cast is the Dark Archon. People are big fans of this unit. You know, Maelstrom obviously is what he's going for. You know, an anti-Mutalisk play, since he doesn't really have Corsairs out on the map. And I think it's very likely StrikeR will make some mutas at this point, so I think this is probably going to work out super, super well. But you want to keep it hidden. You do not want them to see that you have this thing. Because if they see it, they can just, like, keep everything spread more. And they'll be watching for it the whole time. All right, Zealots come out, trying to catch some of these Hydras. Push them back for now. A lot of Dragoons coming. Dude, I think Boa is in a fantastic spot at this moment. You know, StrikeR, he's macroing up a lot. He is definitely getting a lot. He's got very good drone saturation, I'd call this. Yeah, definitely very good. I think he's getting ready to take another base. This is the time. You know, he's got pretty high supply overall, I guess, considering what's happened this game. But I feel like Boa's tech is really, really strong at the moment. Now, Muta's going to fly in here. Brings everything back. Gonna hold back this Dark Archon maybe for a moment. He doesn't quite have 100 energy, which is what you need. Throws a storm down. Badly injures 2 mutas, but they will fly out. Loses some probes here for sure. Right? What do we have left here? Like 14 probes? So it takes a little hit to his economy. But I think the mutas will probably reconvene to try to get some of these High Templars over here. Okay, so they do fly up. Ooh, they see the High Templars. They have them in their sights. Oh, shit. Ah! Okay. Gets him before he loses the second one. And does not waste a Psy Storm. Love to see it. Dude, you can't tell me Dark Archons aren't great. They're fantastic. Like, the fact... He did lose 1 High Templar, but he saved at least 1. Maybe 2 there. And all the storms they would have had. Amazing for 100 mana. Great, great unit. So Boa pushing forward. He does not want this area to be a lurker containment. If you get lurkers up on the high ground, it's so hard for Dragoons to break out. Or Protoss in general. All right, some nice storms go down on these Hydras. Boa definitely having an advantage. Kicks the Hydras out. Now, okay, he has no storms on this one and 1 storm. And no Maelstrom. Okay, so he should not attack right now. He has 1 storm for support. I talked about this last game. This is how he lost last game, is he lost all of his Dragoons because he had no support with them. You must have Zealots at minimum, and hopefully both some Zealots for tanking damage and High Templars for Psy Storm with these Dragoons. They just don't beat anything by themselves. 4th base is up for StRyKeR. Still layer tech. Upgrades, +1 only. Another hatch, so going up to 7 hatcheries right now. 1/1 for Boa. Probably has +2 armor on the way. Oh, kind of an interesting direction he's running in here. I think he's just checking if there's a hatchery. No easy way for him to scout that. No hatchery, so he'll just back up, back onto his high ground. He won't get caught with that little maneuver. So I think this is a more obvious 4th base anyways, but it's good to check. You never know where a Zerg player will expand. All right. This army's starting to look real fearsome from Boa. Real fearsome. Gonna knock out quite a few of these Hydras. Has enough for Maelstrom, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Now, what do you do as Boa, right? Because you're definitely feeling like you're in a great spot, but attacking up here is really hard. I can't stress enough. Look, he's missing a lot of shots. You miss half your shots going up, and Dragoons attack slowly. Now, that is an excellent Maelstrom, but you need to follow that up with a Psy Storm, or it's not nearly as good. Okay, does get that Psy Storm out. Kills off most of the Hydras that were Maelstrom, and he's breaking up the right side only. Now, he does start to shift. I would rather he bring his army completely onto high ground, then go to the left, rather than leave chunks of it down here missing shots. So a little bit sloppy there for a moment. Looks like his Archon should get picked off now. He has done some good job tanking and dealing some damage. Still has some High Templars in here. Yeah, plenty of Psy Storms. Plenty of Psy Storms left over. Now, if he can just rally the rest of these units into his army while he attacks. Two more storms right there. 2 more storms right there. So 4 more storms. He's going to break him. StRyKeR is looking pretty dead right now. GG. Boa with another win. Guys, we're going into the 3rd match of Winners League right now. We have Cava, the new body for Boa to destroy. Yeah, Boa is like a bit better than Cava. Cava's good. He's like high A, low S Zerg. And Boa is like a 2600 player. So, like, definitely Boa's favored, but you never know in this matchup. You know, I was talking with Jayun and Hawk after that game. They were kind of confused by the lack of cannons as well. I think StRyKeR may have been confused. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of weird. but Boa definitely playing on the edge of his seat and taking him down pretty easily. Now, out comes the probe with the scout. So it's a pylon scout, which is generally a forge-based build. Of course, we'll see about that. Yeah, it definitely is going to be a forge-based build. And he's going to get over here. And Cava, I believe, has gone for a pull first. So that's a pretty quick pull. And in fact, even throwing down the extractor trick. So that's a 9 pull. He's looking for Boa to play greedy. But Boa gets over here and he's like, oh, well, now I know to put my forge down. And as soon as he sees no hatchery, he sends this probe. He'll make a forge. And he should, I believe you go 2 cannons against this, actually. If I am not mistaken, the conventional wisdom is cannon, and then you make your nexus. But we'll see. We'll see. I have occasionally been wrong in the past. It's rare, but it can happen. So Cava, we'll see if he makes 6lings here. Drone just kind of chasing that probe away. He's actually put good damage on the probe already, so that's kind of nice as well. Okay, Boa comes back down. Cannon. Cannon. Yeah, I was lying. I'm never wrong. So, yeah, 6lings coming out, and the probe turns around just in the... I actually thought he might lose that there. That would have been a bit sad. You want to keep this alive. You got to scout, like, is he getting gas yet? Or are we just going to go 3rd hatch? You know, that type of thing. Keep this thing alive as long as possible. So it gets in there, but of course with the double cannon, Cava can't really do anything here. Yeah, Nexus goes down, and I mean, this is going to be a slow start. Whenever you have a build that looks like this against a build that looks like this and no gas, like there is nothing that can really happen. So yeah, you know, here we are kind of in the middle of the series, so I'm going to take this moment to say thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot of viewers here tonight, and that's great to see that people are interested in seeing the best players from North America go at it. This is the North American Pro League Major match. I believe we're going to be doing this every other week, so if you guys are really enjoying it, I'll continue to commentate them in the future and play in them as well. It's a lot of fun to kind of have the best players that are all kind of serious and practicing pretty hard right now getting together to play these games. And there's been great games tonight. There have been serious, like nothing has felt super one-sided, right? Like everything's been a solid game. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And so thank you for tuning in. Please do follow my channel. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. It's always appreciated. And if you are watching on Twitch, you know what? Check out my YouTube at ArtosisCasts. And if you're on YouTube, check out my Twitch on Artosis on Twitch TV. Right? I'm streaming all the time. It's great. My whole life revolves around StarCraft for 25 years. It sounds sad. I mean, there's sad things about it. I chose Terran, but it's a happy life overall. Now, we have the 3rd base up for Cava. He is making the Hydralisk Den, so it looks like it'll be a 3-hatch Hydra. He might have looked at that game and said, I'll attack against 3 cannons. I don't have a problem with that. Stargate on the way for Boa. And he has no scout on the map right now, so like this is a harder one. He might just add more cannons because of this. So, yeah, we have a few more drones that need to be made. I'm sure he has Hydralisk speed on the way right now. There's a real chance that that Boa goes down here. Like these 3-hatch Hydra bus guys, like you do have to be careful. And I did like what we saw from Boa, where he was sitting right on the edge. It seemed like he was too greedy there with only 3 cannons. Really feels like he should have had 5. But I mean, he ended up winning the game handedly, and StRyKeR's like an incredibly good player, so good on him, I guess. Now, the probe got up here, saw the hatchery, saw the Hydralisk Den. 2 more cannons. That's what we need to see from Boa. Now, will Cava actually pull the rush off? One thing to mention, this is more drones than you're supposed to have. So I think this is a fake. I think it's... Now, normally, even when you fake, you make some Hydras, by the way. Even if it's a fake, you will make Hydras similar across the map, but he's a higher econ than normal, right? I've been talking about 9, 7, 3. So we got 9, 8, and 6. So we have 4 extra drones right now, which is significant, right? That is like 20% drone increase, or even more than that, maybe. I can't really do math right now. But he's going to have a good economy. He can recover out of this really quickly. How many? We have 7 Hydras, and he's forced an additional 2 cannons. So I wonder if he's going to stop. Like, why would he have this many drones if he's not going to switch it up? Okay, there's an extra hatch. So yeah, I think he's just like getting range right now, so he can shoot these walls, this wall down. Like, maybe get rid of +1 before it finishes. I don't know if he will, and definitely get rid of that gateway. Don't forget, by the way, there is this second exit here. So there is always the possibility Boa slips something out like a Dark Templar. Oh, man. Oof. Comes up and actually targets down the cannons on the back of that Overlord, giving its life. These Zealots do not have speed yet. Oh, man. He is very close to killing off this cannon. 4 more cannons get started here for Boa. Boa desperately trying to get his Zealots actually out of this choke with their speed upgrade to kill off the rest of the Hydras. Well, it looks like he will end up holding this one as well. But again, you know, we have a good drone count. We have an extra hatchery. I think Cava's going to be okay behind this. I think he'll start layer really, really soon. Another hatch, so he's going up to 5 hatch. Still kind of producing those Hydras. Goes after this forge once again. The Zealots have gone out a different way, right? So he is looking for some damage there. Some of the Hydras turning around, maybe realizing what's going on. And this could turn into a base trade. Okay, his Hydras are actually all going home. So, no, not going to be a base trade. If all his Hydras are across the map, it could be. Like, maybe he kills all the cannons, and then the Zealots deal massive damage at his base. But right now, they're just getting in on top of a lot of these Hydras. So they go back into, like, a little choked area here to try to lessen the surface area of these Zealots. And they do a pretty good job of that. The rest of the Hydras coming home will help him to clear out the rest of these. A few more Zealots were sent out here from Boa as well. Don't forget, he has 5 gateways pumping right now. Templar Archives is done, and the Forge being remade. All right, the 4 Zealots going back across the map here. Taking a lot of damage there. Layer. And yeah, so we're on 6 hatch now. Interesting play here from Cava. Feels like he has done maybe slightly better than what StRyKeR did. Yeah, getting on top of a lot of these. Good micro there from Boa, just adding in some extra damage. Just being very active with these, right? Like, they're fast. It's hard for Hydras to kill them. So just the fact that he's running them around, keeping them kind of busy is nice. Now, what is Boa's plan here? Right? So he's going up to 8 gates, as you can see. 7 plus 1. Robo nice and quickly. Has a Corsair out still. This is bad, bad, bad mining. We keep having a probe pop out here. He should try to fix this. I think you could manually fix this if you pulled that one to the right and then sent it down. Okay, there you go. It might be on a cycle where it screws up like every 30 seconds or something. Sometimes you get geysers like that if you build a building wrong. All right, so the DT cleaning up some of these Hydras that are out on the map. Corsair pushing back the Overlord. Gotta wonder if we have any mods in the chat right now. Yeah, we don't really see what the plan is here. I guess it's just going to be mass Hydra. He must be getting the Lurker upgrade. No, please continue, guys. Please continue in the chat. Oh, my. Now, you normalize yoga pants. Ask, is that what that was? Good to know. All right, so the High Templars are out. And, yeah, Goon Range coming up here as well. Getting that +1 armor, no doubt. This one DT has done a really great job. Look at this. He's got 4 kills so far, but he's also just putting a bunch of damage onto the Hydras. There's a lot of Hydras that have been damaged in here, too. And finally, he will get picked off, but definitely worth his weight in Hydralisks there, or more so. Throws down a nice storm on those Hydras. I think Cava's in some serious trouble. He way overdrone. Look how many drones he's making. I think Boa's actually about to kill him because of that. Like, he just made like an extra 7, 8 drones up here. And look at the size of this army coming for him right now. I think playing maybe a little bit too greedy. Boa trying to come in for that kill. All right, gets on top of a lot of these Hydras now. And this is going to be game, I think. Look at this. These storms absolutely out of control. GG. All right, guys, this could be it for the Winners League. We have Boa here in the bottom right going for his all kill against Dragon here in the top left. They're playing on Polypoid. It's definitely, like, Dragon is good enough that he can win against Boa, but Boa is incredibly strong. Obviously, you've seen that here tonight. Apparently, he's playing on at his friend's house right now. No problem. He brought his peripherals, so doing well. And now we just kind of, we chill, we wait, we see what these guys want to open with. Yeah, Bo is someone who actually plays on a laptop regularly. He plays on a laptop, apparently, with a laptop screen. He's also a dentist and a 2600 Protoss player. So, make of this what you will. But Boa absolutely dominating tonight. And, yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to stop him. Very likely that it'll be Boa versus StRyKeR, I think, in that final match. We've seen that a lot here tonight already. It's kind of crazy with Boa killing everybody so hard. Like, I'm like not even getting matches here. I was like, oh, I'll play at least 2 games. No, it doesn't look that way right now. Dragon going for the first scout. Looks like he will go clockwise here and not be able to find Boa. But, I mean, he's starting to scout. We'll see exactly where he ends up going. Yeah, they'll pass each other right up here. And, well, not a big deal, obviously. Yeah, a fun night, though, of games so far. A lot of very, very good ones. That last one, little sad that Cava was a bit greedy on his drones. But, you know, he's trying to recover after his rush didn't work, although it was kind of a high econ rush, so I don't know. I feel like it's hard, I think. You know, people say PvZ is hard. I disagree. I think ZVP is hard. You know, that Protoss army is very scary when it comes. Now, okay, gets in. You know, I talked about this before as well, and I do all the time in PvP. You know, you can't really talk about too much until we have the Dragoon finish, right? You need that Dragoon out to actually chase the Pro Boy, so you can actually throw down your tech building. You know, looking at the placement, it doesn't tell us a whole lot. Like, Boa's actually tells us very, very little. Dragons, I can look at this and say, well, you could put a Robo here. And that's actually pretty good placement for it already. Whereas Boa doesn't really have that as much. I guess you could put it like here, but not super good. Normally, a lot of times when you go Reaver on a ramp map, you'll put the Robo somewhere around here, so you can easily walk down your ramp very quickly with such a slow unit. Now, the Dragoons are out, so now we can see what tech these guys actually want to go for. The probes are dead. There's an extra pylon there for Boa. That looks like a Robo pylon. And an extra pylon for Dragon, but he already had a pylon where he would need for that robo. So let's see where he goes. That's going to be a robo, I think. Oh, it could be a gate, though. That could be a gate. Okay, there's the robo. So excellent location. He can easily crawl Reavers down that ramp. Looks like he's... I mean, I guess this is probably going to be a macro build. It is cross spawn, so it's a lot harder to attack. And there's the robo there from Boa as well. Yeah, just a few units kind of poking out, seeing if they can see anything. Is there like a probe over here? Did he walk over with a Dragoon? Anything like that? Nothing to find, though. You know, Dragon doing something similar, just kind of zoning out any scouting that could occur. You know, Boa's on my team, and if he ends up taking this for us, we win money, and that's nice and all, but actually I kind of want Dragon to win so we can get a few more games in there. Observatory and Robotics Bay coming down here for Dragon off of one gate. And the same thing for Boa. The exact same build order from both sides. All right, now it's getting interesting. Dragon off of one gateway and a bunch of tech goes for a Nexus. Now, again, it's cross spawn. He's doing a good job of keeping out every single scout. His probe making its way back. It looks like Boa may end up doing the same exact thing here. No additional gateway or anything, and it looks like he's saving up that money. So Dragons is going to be a little bit quicker, but Boa will get his as well. So not the end of the world how much later Boa's is. You know, both of them trying to scout a little bit. Probes going off to the sides. Both of them drawing back into their naturals and putting a pylon in front of their armies. This is so mirrored, it's actually insane. It is kind of wild to watch. Just exactly the same builds, the same tactics, everything. Just slightly faster Nexus here. Second gate. We should be seeing that from Boa now as well. Good scout. Gets a good idea of what's going on. This is going to happen as well on Dragon's side. Doesn't see the Nexus. Gets caught there by Boa, but good stuff. All right, gets his probes down and mining. Sank a gate for Boa a little bit later here as well. Sending his own probes to mine now also. Slightly better timing, I feel like, on that. And you know what? This is actually reminding me very, very much of a StarCraft 2 Zerg vs. Zerg, where, like, we're actually waiting for a deviation. Because it's so mirrored at this point that it's like, okay, well, is someone going to attack or, like, try to drop? We need something to spur on action. Because they're doing the exact same thing. They have the exact same units. They have the exact same economy. They have the exact same production. Dragon comes up, takes one shot, sees, oh, you have the same stuff, backs up. He does have his shuttle. So that's something at least. Maybe we can get a Reaver drop off. Maybe we can get that Reaver harass, and we don't see the shuttle yet. If he can come up and even snipe a Reaver, that will give him a bit of an edge. Look at this coming. Oh, he's going to go for a Reaver drop into the mineral line. Now the shuttle comes out, gets 2 Reavers of his own. Oh, the pylon is actually Dragons? Wait, no, that's Boa's. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I'm like, that's brown. Everything's kind of yellow. But yeah, he sees that. So not going to be able to get anything done. Same supplies. All right, looks like Dragon going to take out this pylon. He is out of position for doing this, and Boa's instantly going across the map. So we're going to see if he gets punished for this. Dragon has no vision of this area. So he doesn't know to attack in right now. This is a big brain move, actually. But with the Reaver drop coming in, he's going to see there's nothing there, and now he can attack with all of his army. Boa with a gigantic counterattack. There are 2 Reavers here. Oh, that's a sick Scarab right there. Ooh. Some very good Scarabs so far. Yeah, Boa dropping his own out there as well. Looks like Dragon going to come in. You know, it feels like Dragon is doing a better job, slightly. Drops his Reaver on the high ground, gets a good shot off there. Will end up losing that, but you know what? He's got so many Dragoons, you're going to have to pull probes to fight. It is going to be the only way to do it. And unfortunately, the same can be said over here, but probes can't fight when there's still Reavers alive. So this does... I mean, I'm guessing that Boa probably has this. Just because he still has Reavers. And you see Dragon really focusing on trying to take out that shuttle. If he could kill the shuttle, then he could maybe kill the Reavers. But as is, this is so tough. The probe's drilling out. Oh, what? Is he sending them across the map? Holy crap. Really now? He's actually going for the full base trade. Oh my god. Dragon starts a Nexus up here and sends his probes? I thought you could only do this against Terran. What is going on here? This is just insanity. I can't believe this. So, Dragon might actually get another base up. Boa here, evacuating his probes. Don't forget, he has to buy Scarabs. So if he gets below 400 minerals... Look, he needed to... When he did that, he needed to cancel everything in his gates. So he has money for Scarabs, and he can make a Nexus. Because realistically, I think what you're thinking here is you actually make a Nexus up here, so you hold the ramp with the Reavers. Kind of an insane game right now. Dragon has this, right? He's gonna have the Nexus up first. He has plenty of money for gates and stuff. Okay, Boa did cancel stuff, by the way. Very important, whatever it was. I wonder if there's any chance he finds out where these probes are, where they went. Yeah, the probes all trying to long distance mine right now. You don't want them to actually go all the way home. Just a very few units left over here for Boa. Dude, I think Dragon has it. Like, the Reavers still can make a difference. But that's what it seems like to me. Okay, starts the Nexus in Dragon's base. Dragon could actually even make gateway units here. That's so funny. Okay, in comes the shuttle. I think when Boa sees this, he may have to... Well, let's see what he does with the Reavers, right? Because he has 5 Scarabs in each. Oh, my God. Just insanity. Okay, he's actually just ravaging what he... Oh, my God. Dragon just GG's. And that means Boa's done it. He got the all kill. Absolute madness. 4-0.